This morning, the Department of Treasury sanctioned TransCapital Bank, a key Russian commercial bank that has offered services to banks globally to evade international sanctions, and more than 40 individuals and entities that are part of a Russian sanctions evasion network led by Russian oligarch Konstantin Malafeyev. We have also imposed sanctions on companies in Russia's virtual currency mining industry that operate vast server farms and provide revenue to the Russian government. And the Department of State imposed visa restrictions on more than 600 individuals in response to human rights abuses by Russia and Belarus. So this is part of our stepped-up effort to crack down on those attempting to evade our unprecedented sanctions.
On the long-range missile test today, Putin says that this is meant to provide food for thought for those who threaten Russia. Can you talk us through how the administration is interpreting this and whether you're viewing this as a warning or a threat in any way?
We are not. They notified under the START treaty, and so from our perspective, they provided advance notice of this launch under its new START treaty obligations that it planned to test this missile. The Defense Department said today that we did not deem the test a threat to the United States or its allies, and the timing and the scope of Russia's missile tests do not influence our approach to countering Russia's further invasion of Ukraine. So it was noticed through the proper process, and the Department of Defense has spoken to this as well.
On an expected announcement of another round of assistance to Ukraine, could you walk us through any specifics, if you have any, on that, when that's happening?
What we've tried to do, we made a strategic decision, given we've seen Russia reposition their troops and their military to the eastern part of Ukraine to fight a different kind of war on the ground, which will be more, shooting back and forth through long range. And so we have been working with the Ukrainians and the Ukrainian military to determine exactly the kind of security assistance they need for this stage in the war. And that has included an increase, as you've seen, in artillery and ammunition and weapons like howitzers and others that can do these are effective in this long-range shooting and long-range fighting that we are seeing, or we anticipate will happen in this stage of the war. So we have been expediting this assistance to the ground over the last couple of weeks to ensure they are prepared as this portion of the war is starting. Not because they are using all of it in 7 days, but because we want them to have all of this equipment as quickly as possible as they prepare to fight this war on the ground.